Hey guys, as you can see, I'm Chris Williams. I'm a web developer and co-creator of the Prismatic library, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. So I tried to look for a very good resolution image of how Netscape looked back in the day, and this is the best I could find. But the point is, the web has been flat for quite a while now. And there's been some improvements upon that. We've been doing streaming video. We've added social media. There's also been some 3D libraries that have come out that aren't actually 3D, and they still sit inside of this window, this viewport that we see, right? And we thought we'd like to unflatten the web. We'd like to create something that goes beyond the bounds of a web browser and can go into your living room. And so that's why we created this library called Prismatic. So why did we create it? Because it's really easy. It's really easy to get started on the Magic Leap platform with web development, because you don't have to know, as Jen said, any stuff that I didn't learn in college, but you can use simple declarative HTML, XML-like syntax, and you can get 3D content on your page that quickly. And that ties into the fact that it's really fast. It's so fast that probably during the duration of this, you could download the library from NPM, hook it up to Glitch or CodePen or something like that, and actually have a 3D model rendering on our Magic Leap device. We use a declarative syntax for the reasons that I mentioned before, because it's familiar to people. It's familiar to people that have created their own website or have used any type of markup language. And it's also easy to learn for people that are coming from developing in C++ or developing in Unity, for them to easily get inside of this and get 3D models rendering on their page. And we also wanted to do it because we're committed to open standards. We are part of the immersive web group in W3C. And one of the first things we did was implement GLTF support. And we're working on several other things with the group, and we've gotten a lot of traction with them as well. We're kind of known to be quite a secret company, but now that we've launched, we're open for business. What can it do? So the Prismatic JavaScript library can render 3D models, obviously. It can do this feature that we call content extraction. And what content extraction is essentially allows the user to take something inside of their page, say like a tiny shoe, and they can literally pull it out and place it in their environment. And that is going to persist in their environment until they decide to close it. You could also say, for example, this would work with furniture. I'm shopping on Wayfair. Here it's a popular company here. And you can put a bunch of different chairs as you would put like pastels on a wall and kind of muddle about and see which one that you like the best until you've decided on that perfect color. Another thing that's great is that you can create content outside of the page, like a life-sized whale, which we'll be demoing later. We can create content through using HTML and a declarative syntax at a scale of 300 meters. The limits are limitless. And this is incredible to have something that you can just literally write 3 lines of code and have, a giant whale swimming about a room this size. So, I think that's pretty cool. So here's the secret sauce. This is what makes Prismatic prismatic. We have the Lumen runtime, which is our runtime that sits at the bottom. We have the Helio engine, which is a Chromium port. We have our Lumen bindings, which are our JavaScript bindings that tie into Prismatic, that allow us to develop the declarative HTML components based off of those bindings. So if you were to look at this like a nice juicy cheeseburger or egg muffin because I skipped breakfast, Prismatic would be like the topping, the cheese on top. So you really don't have to know a lot about what the underlying bindings and engine and runtime are. You just have to know about the Prismatic. So I've been harking on how easy it is, and this is how easy it is. There's a lot of blank space on this screen right now, because you just need this to get a 3D model on your page. You add the library. We have it on NPM. You can download it from our creator portal. You add an HTML element, the ML model. You give it some CSS style, 300 pixels by 300 pixels, and the path to the model, and then close out that tag. And that will give you that, which is pretty cool. We also wanted to make sure that it was extensible. So Google has already worked with us to create a Google Web Component Model Viewer, which is a drag and drop viewer. So if you're viewing a model on our device using the Google Web Component Model Viewer, you will see Prismatic working in the background to display that model. We also wanted to make it unobtrusive and easy to add to your website. So internally, we've been using React.js as a wrapper. So we have like a Prismatic React version, and we use Vue.js and Next.js, but you can already add it to your existing site. You don't need to rebuild your CMS from the bottom up. You don't need to hack a new website together. It's literally as easy as the last slide or the slide before, where you just add the code, add the library, you get a 3D model on our device. So I'm asked a lot by my colleagues, by our CEO, by celebrities, people, I don't know, presidents. What is Prismatic? With Prismatic, what can you do with Prismatic? And I say this, with Prismatic, you can quickly create compelling spatialized web experiences that go beyond the bounds of the Helio browser and come live in your living room through augmented reality. So here's some samples of some sites that we've created. This is magicleap.com. We have Wayfair on the right. Down here, we have the giant whale, and another site we did with New York Times. I encourage all of you to check out some of the demos that we're going to be doing just outside. And further along, or after this, my colleague Damien will be coming up and doing a little bit deeper dive into how we did these demos with our partners and how we created the spatialized web. And so with that, thank you very much.